you guys are coming to Australia and you're bringing a Japanese band, Hey Smith, with you.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, man. What can you tell me about those guys?
All I can tell you about them is that they're incredible. They're 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 amazing live, man. We just did Japan with them 4 or 5 months ago, and did we did the opening of their tour, the first 4 dates of their huge Japanese tour. And I mean, I didn't know you could do that much Japan, but they play like every night, like every venue, every size. But they're we did the first 4 nights, and it was, I think it was some of the best shows we've ever done in our career. Just the vibe, the size of the shows. It was just like the right size shows. I mean, they're doing about, well, I mean, uh, they're doing about 2 to 3 thousand people a night, in these like theater, small amphitheater type places, and just amazing live. Just a powerhouse ska punk, ska core band. But they do a little bit of everything. They're way metal. Like, they're pretty fucking metal, man. And I came up on all that stuff. And I love thrash and all this stuff. And they're pretty fucking cool, man. I mean, people are gonna get knocked back. They're gonna get blown away.
Nice. Right. How would you describe the music scene in Riverside when you guys were coming up?
When we were coming up, it was a mixture, of like kind of jammy bands and like kind of hippie bands, because we have a college here. Like, I mean, there's a big university here, and it was sort of like, and we had that kind of jam rock bands, and then we had like little like thrash bands that were coming up, and then a lot of like two-tone ska bands, like the Skeletones, the Specs, uh, Gangbusters, the Donkey Show. There was just all kinds of bands like that were from here or like close by to here. And but there was a big mix of of all kinds of stuff. And then we started to have bands that would come through that were, like, I mean, that were touring bands. So we got to see like Sick of It All and like the Boss Tones and stuff like that came through. And that kind of made the scene turn into more of like a bigger like worldwide scene, and bands from here started to be able to go out, like tour and stuff like that.
Yeah. As someone who reads the Hard Times a lot, I swear every like fourth article is them having, taking a pot shot at Scar or something, for the
Oh
various
yeah.
factions. And what a particular favorite was, they have to draw straws to see who has to untangle all the trombones.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I think they always do great ones too. Yeah, I mean, ska has always gotten like a funny bad rap, or in some circles, of course. I mean, we've even taken little small pot shots at ska just by doing our style. I mean, we came up in the era where, I mean, and it might still be a thing, of course, but I mean, people that are just strictly in the trad ska and stuff might not be in the people mixing like their ska with punk rock and metal, and we were the idiots doing that. So we take full blame for doing that too, and we were just having a good time because we thought, well, we love the Specials and Fishbone, but we love Iron Maiden and Scorpions and Exodus, and like Sick of It All, and this pop punk bands and everything else. So we're like, well, let's just do what we want and mix it up and make this part like a heavy part, and then do the ska part or the kind of ska part with the horns. And we just, and then we were in the fish, and like the Hollywood trifecta, like in the late 80s was, Fishbone, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Jane's Addiction. So that was a weird mix of bands and like styles, so we kind of learned from that, because we lived an hour away from like like from that scene.
Did the fashion things that people kind of pin to Scar, the pork pie hats,
Yep.
the
Oh yeah.
tie, the sneakers. I think they're checkerboard sneakers from me, checkerboard vans, or
Oh well, I mean, yeah, I mean, ska is always about the checkers and all that, all of that stuff. But like the two-tone thing, and like Doc Martens and all that,
yeah.
stuff.
Did that Did that kind of stuff evolve over a slow period? Because you guys would have been around, at the start of that. Was that a fashion thing that kind of one band trendsetted and then it just became a thing, or did it evolve a bit more naturally?
I honestly think it became a real like a cheesier thing when like the '90s ska boom kind of happened out here, which is that was going on everywhere though, because here we had like Voodoo Glow Skulls to Real Big Fish to Skank and Pickle to all that. You know, we had the Boss Tones, you had Op Ivy, but then you guys had the Porkers over there and like all kinds of other bands like that there. Um, and then so there was that going on all over the world, and then add like the two tone like the ska like checker thing, add that into into when it blew up in the '90s where people use the checkerboard thing for like everything. I mean, we even have a logo or two that had some black and white stuff
Mm.
in it like that. So I just think it became like a cheesy, like a blown out thing, like bell bottoms or
Yeah.
something, or the hula hoop.
Did you ever see the Brooklyn Nine-Nine reference to
Yes. Oh yeah, with Adam. What's the Kent? Yeah,
Andy
that.
Sandberg? Yeah.
Yeah, Andy
Ska is
Samberg.
my
Yep.
lifestyle. I will never not listen to ska.
Yeah, yeah. If you can't, yeah, and there's dudes that I mean, we kind of reap the benefit of that now though, because we kind of get some love in like some circles. There'll be like some famous band or famous actor or somebody that really did go to shows back in the day when there were nobody, when there were nobody, when they were, when they were coming up in the world, went to
Yeah,
ska shows and punk shows. So there's always a little bit of that.
yeah. 3 years on, did you successfully make America skank again?
Oh, I think most definitely in our way, we definitely did. We did some tours. We got some love the last 3 years and have been on some great tours and some pretty big festivals and I think it's been pretty successful.
Do you have what plans do you have to put out a new album?
Well, we're constantly doing demos now. When there's free time, there there's demos being made and just seeing what sticks. Right now we have about 20 to 25 new ideas that are hashed out with either real drums or like drum machine drums and like some bassing and some guitars. We've done one demo vocal song that sounds more like a complete song with no horns. So there's ideas in the kind of brewing, but that I mean we've had so many records and could tour with a catalog that now we just want to wait for it, man. Like, what is there to really prove? We're still down the right new stuff, and there's still like some excitement there for sure. Just like the old days, I mean the core of the songwriting lineup is the same. I mean, this is a start off as a as a bedroom guitar band, that incorporates horns and all that stuff. So the same core energy is there to write. It's just like, what do you write about, and what new riff could you come up with that's different than the last like 11 releases. So now we're just waiting for it. But I'm I'm confident that we have a strong EP right now. If anything, we have a
Yeah.
good we have a good 6 to 8 songs, 6 to 10 songs, I think, that are strong enough. And then we have about another like 10 to 12 that we could probably work on more, or those might even be some ones that would be keepers. So that's a good place to be. There's a bunch of new songs that are on the horizon, man. We're just trying to write more ideas and then pick from those next ones, and then eventually we'll start to release singles or something. Once we get the spark to and the time to just sit down and do it.
What have been some of your best experiences touring Australia over the years?
Oh man. Well, we've it feels like we've done Australia kind of like a proper DIY band. Like in a couple Sprinter vans or one van going going like I mean like driving up the coast or something. We've done that. I mean like a few times. I think we did one tour with 17 or 18 days or something. We did almost 3 weeks once, and then we've done a couple shorter ones, and then we did it the hits and pits was the last one. I want to say it was like maybe 2014 or something. Um, and they've all been different, you know. But I mean, we've one of my favorite times was doing the Sydney Harbor Cruise show. We played on a little boat that we you load on one side of the harbor and you just put your gear in like a little club, like you're loading into a little bar. But it's a boat, you know, that holds like 200 people, whatever it does. And then, excuse me, and then and then you cruise around the harbor, and then there's a club's worth of people in line waiting in front of in front of the opera house, and you pick them up, and you pick up the club, you pick up the fan base. They get in the boat, and then you are like sitting there trapped with like 200-300 like crazy motherfuckers buying beers, and it was amazing. I think we were drinking beers and smoking joints on the boat outside, waiting to play a show, and then when it's your turn, you play a show and face to face with fans right next to a pole, next to the poles on the boat, and people were slam dancing, and that was I'll never forget that. You know, that alone. And then like touring the last tour was great. Touring like kind of like good clubs with like the Mad Caddies and Good Riddance. I mean, come on, it was great. You know, those shows were all cool. You know, but you know all the stuff in the past too. Like I said, being in little vans and just playing all like the nitty gritty. It felt like we were playing more like proper Australian shows than just the big cities, and flying into just a big city and then flying to the next big city, which we've done that. But it's cool being in a van and going to motels and like looking around on the beach and just cool. We did that, and those are the best times.
What are some of the ways that you've learned to cope with the rigors of touring? What are some essentials?
Oh man, nowadays it's turned into more like the old man shit. Like you need melatonin, you need vitamins. You need to not eat past 10 p.m., but maybe eat a snack before you go to bed somehow. It's like all this stuff, and then I don't know, man. You need lotions and creams. You need a lot more lotions and creams now. But yeah, you need ointments, But I don't know, man. I mean, we're not really like I guess the band's poison is is weed. A lot, and I mean, sometimes in moderation, sometimes not, but I'll tell you what, when it shows up at the right time still, and you're not sleeping good, or you're just on tour a little stressed out, or your body hurts, it just might do the trick, so that if anything, I could say seems to be like a necessity for a good amount of the band. I mean, if I'm going to be honest, I mean, more so than booze these days. I mean, by a long shot, I guess, but that's mostly it. A nice, comfortable bed, clean bed.
Oh man, as I've described myself as 38 going on 70, so I sympathize.
Oh man, I have, there's some I feel like I'm 70 and I'm 53, man. I've been through some, I got some battle wounds, some scars. You have to take care of yourself.
Oh man, wiser words have never been spoken. Eddie, thank you for your time today, dude.
Thanks so much, homie.
No
Thank you
worries,
so much
mate.
for your time, man. Thanks.